Happy Thanksgiving. I don't need to remind you of all the underlying issues with celebrating this holiday and how people were moved out forcefully, evicted, but there were no bills to pay. You don't need to be reminded of all of that. All you need to do is eat some turkey, eat some ham, and have a good day. Happy Thanksgiving. Also, get up, FAMU. FAMU, get up. After 9 long years of heartbreak, sadness, lying to ourselves that everything was going to be all right, it's finally all right. FAMU, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University beat Bethune-Cookman University. Not Bethune-Cookman College, Bethune-Cookman University. Now we can say we're the number 1 public HBCU. Say it with our chest out, not with our chest in. We can say we're in the state capital. We can say all of these things and they don't have a comeback for it. Florida Agricultural Mechanical University beat Bethune-Cookman University in the Florida Classic in Orlando, and I was there to witness it. So it happened. Unless I was hallucinating. Now, Florida Agricultural Mechanical University are in the FCS playoffs, fighting for a national championship. Now, I don't totally understand how this FCS playoffs thing works because Jackson State beat Florida A&M University. They play in the SWAC championship this Saturday, I believe, against Prairie View A&M. Good luck to both teams. But they are the better team. Why aren't they fighting for a national championship? Is the Celebration Bowl a bigger deal than the national championship? I don't know. I do not know. But I do know Florida A&M plays Southeastern Louisiana on Saturday, and it will be interesting. It has FCS playoffs has high school football vibes. High school football was always fun if your team was good. 9th grade year, my team wasn't so good. High school football was sort of a drag, if I do say so myself, as Shikamaru would say. But as I went to 10th grade and 11th grade and 12th grade, I went to a new school, Sandalwood High School, class of 2018. And high school football got a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. Well, we were better. It got a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun, as I said. And when we went to the playoffs, when we played in regular season games, it was a little bit more intense, as I say. And as I said will be the name of this podcast, because I've just said it 17 times in the last minute. As I say. I told you so. But it's a large bracket. I don't know how many teams. I believe there's 16 teams. They have 2 divisions. I believe that there are, let me think. I believe they have 4 automatic bids, and then they have 2 teams playing, because I believe if Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University beat Southeastern Louisiana, they play James Madison. So, and we've seen, I'm sort of going all over the place here, but we've seen in the NWSL playoffs, where we're going to talk about that later, where 2 teams have made the championship game and they didn't have the first round bye. So it's an interesting dilemma. Do you want the bye week, get some rest, or do you want to continue the momentum? Because Florida A&M is on a high. They're on a high going to Louisiana. And if they can not complete, but continue or still ride the flow of the high, then they go to James Madison confident. You never know. Again, high school football vibes, where you play the team, you play your regional teams, and when you go to the championship or the playoffs, you really don't know how good Matanzas is. You don't know how good Booker T. Washington is. Yeah, they're good, but you don't know how good they are. So Southeastern Louisiana, Florida A&M University, Saturday will probably be a feel-out game, right? Whoever wins that game will play in James Madison. It will be a little bit different of a challenge. I say that because James Madison's been there, done that before. So they have a different feeling towards the playoffs. Remember the triad of success. Experience, chemistry, talent. Everyone in the playoffs has talent. But how's your chemistry? How's your experience? And that's the thing that's going to separate and makes probably James Madison a favorite against Florida A&M if they win. Or a favorite against Southeastern Louisiana. I won't be talking about it if Florida A&M lose to Southeastern Louisiana. I could give 2 stuffs if Florida A&M loses. But if they do win against Southeastern Louisiana, I expect the experience factor will play a huge role in the game, I believe, the week after next. Right? You know, I just love it. I just love it. It gets the people going. This is the Peng Sports Podcast, episode 39. I'm recording this at 8:25 a.m. Maybe that's why I'm so energetic. I slept a little bit longer. It's not 7:32 on a Wednesday. It's 8:25, not 30. It's 8:25 on a Wednesday. November 24th. This is when I'm recording it. Will it be released on the 24th? No. It will be released on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Heading to Jacksonville later today. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got sacked. As I drink my tea. Ole got sacked. And you know how I feel about this. You know how I feel about this. If I paused during the podcast, it's because my lips are bleeding because I forgot to put Vaseline on this morning. So please, excuse me. But Manchester United and Arsenal are in the same stage, if that makes sense. They're both in a transition stage. And I don't think, as I said, football, it's rare where you have transition stages. The only time a team really has a transition stage is like when Juventus had a transition stage. When they got knocked down to Serie B. Serie B? How do you pronounce it? I'm going to say Serie B. Serie B. It's not Serie A, it's Serie B. The second division in Italy. That's what I meant. That's the rebuilding stage. Usually when teams hit rock bottom, that's when they rebuild. That's the only time we see it in football. This Manchester United and Arsenal are in something that's rarely happened before. the rebuilding stage when you're still decently good. Everton's been in the rebuilding stage for 15 years. You know, Manchester United may be in the latter stages of the rebuilding stage, but they're still in the rebuilding stage. I do believe that. Transition, rebuilding, in my opinion, it's the same thing. I would say more transition because they have Cristiano Ronaldo, they have Varane, they have more experienced players. So I would say it's more of a transition. Arsenal, a little bit different where they're fostering young talent, making them better, build chemistry, experience to make the triad of success. And I do believe that results like that happen. They're going to happen. And then beating Villarreal, we'll get to Champions League a little later, isn't anything. I don't think they beat Villarreal 1-0 with Ale, with me, or Carrick. I just think that's how it is. You're coming off international break. You know, when you come back from vacation or come back from a break from studying, you're going to be it's going to take you a little while to get back into the groove of studying. An hour where you're just looking at the computer, reading the same paragraph for the same minute for a whole hour, or you're constantly getting distracted by the bed or constantly getting distracted by video games or something. It's going to take some time. So Watford 4-1, again, 4-1, it's like Liverpool, it's more the scoreline than the loss. And that is somewhat why I can see the reason why Manchester United decided to fire Ole. They lose 2-0 to Liverpool and lose 1-0 to Watford, or 2-0 to Watford, and Watford score 2 goals at the end, or score 1 goal at the beginning, and then score a goal in the 95th minute, I believe. I think that's when they scored against Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still has a job. If that makes sense. It's a very difficult thing for Manchester United to do. I don't think it's as cut and dry as people think. Oh, you should have fired him 3 weeks earlier. What's the difference? The difference is you lost 4-1 to Watford. And he already built up some credit losing to Liverpool 5-1. It was a straw that broke the camel's back, as the youngsters say. Ole will be back. You know, hopefully, I hear there's a side in Sweden. I could be mistaken. Sweden side that's on the come up. Apparently, they will be the PSG, Manchester City of Sweden. He's from Northern Europe. He may go over there. Do they speak, what language do they speak in Sweden? And what language do they speak in Norway? Do they speak 2 different languages, or do they both speak English? What are those people called? What do they call Northern Europeans? Scandinavians? Are they Scandinavians? Or is that Southeastern Europe with the Soviet Union used to be? Who are the Scandinavians in Europe? Vikings? Are they the Vikings? Do they call them Viking people? They're not nomadic people. The Vikes? I think they're Scandinavian. They may be Scandinavian. Hopefully that's not a derogatory term. Let's look it up right now. What people are Scandinavian? Yes. Nordic. That's the one I was looking for. Not nomadic, Nordic. Scandinavian. But Scandinavian people are Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish people, referring to themselves as Scandinavian. In short, Iceland, Norway, Finland, and Denmark are Nordic countries with Scandinavian roots. But typically you will only find Danish, Norwegian, and Swedish people. So people from Iceland and Finland have Nordic countries with the roots, but the big three, Danish, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden are the Scandinavian countries. I know a little something. I study a little bit. But Ole will be back. Like I said with Nuno, good managers will come back. Nuno will be back. Ole will be back. Steven Gerrard. Good for him. But Champions League is interesting. Final day will be interesting. Barcelona has to win against Bayern Munich. They have to. That's assuming, of course, if Benfica beat Dynamo Kiev. Somehow the Dynamo messed me up more than the Kiev part. But yeah, if Benfica beat Dynamo Kiev, if you say it fast, you don't get Dynamo Kiev, which I assume they will. Barcelona has to win. If they tie, lose, Barcelona are good. They're qualified, right? Chelsea, though, beat Juventus 4-0. Good win. Now, am I sold on Chelsea? Not at all. I said this a little bit earlier in the podcast, and please comment below to call me out on hating on Chelsea if I'm hating, but I do believe they caught Liverpool early in the season. Liverpool not in form. I do believe they caught Arsenal not at a good time. I do believe they played Spurs not at a good time. They played Juventus, a team that's already qualified for Champions League. Of course, they're supposed to beat them 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. 4-0, I guess, is the sugar on top, which makes it seem, hey, if you played us with your best team, your worst team, we were going to beat you. But again, we played the Juventus team that already qualified for the Champions League. Champions League knockout stage. They beat a Leicester City who clearly isn't a Leicester of the past 2 years, the team that is challenging for Champions League. That's not the West Ham. No, it's not the West Ham. Speaking of West Ham, good win by Wolves. But that's not the Leicester City that we know. We know this. We've seen this. We see it. I'm just not on the Chelsea bandwagon. I'm just not. Do I think they can make the Champions League semifinals? Yes. Do I think they can challenge for the league? Yes. But do I think they win anything this year? Maybe an FA Cup, Carabao Cup, if they're even still in those tournaments. But Champions League, the things that matter, I don't think Chelsea will win it. Competitive, yes. But again, Juventus already qualified. Leicester City is good, but not great. Now, with N'Golo Kante, who I believe is the best player in the world at this moment in time, Mbappe a little off form. I cautiously say Mbappe a little off form. I cautiously say that. Cautiously say it. That lineup against Juventus, I think, outside of maybe put Mount and Kai Havertz in there, I think that's what Thomas Tuchel wants to play. Chilwell, James, Conte, Jorginho, and then maybe a Havertz up top, and then Mount on the left, and Pulisic on the right, or Ziyech on the right. I think Lukaku was a flex buy. You know those purchases. You don't need that watch. I know the people who listen to my podcast are lavish. You don't need that Rolex. I'm not ever saying Rolex again. You don't need that Rolex. But you got it. Just for a flex. I think Lukaku was a flex purchase. Saul, a flex purchase. Let me tell you this bench real quick. Who when they played Juventus. Lukaku, Mount, Warner, Kepa, Saul, Christensen were all subs. Yeah, outside of I think Christensen would also be the preferred starter with Rudiger and Silva. But outside of that, I think that's the way Tuchel wants to play. It's just tough. I think Lukaku's good enough where he can play in multiple systems. That's the class and quality of Lukaku. But preferably, I think Tuchel wants agile guys, fluid movement, somehow sort of like the Netherlands side back in the 1960, I don't know which World Cup, but one of those World Cups where the left back would switch with the center mid and the center mid would switch with the right winger. One of the Cruyff teams. I guess, again, this is when Cruyff played. But you know what I'm talking about, where everything was interchangeable. And I think that's what Tuchel sort of wants. Lukaku can play on the left. Is he most effective on the left? Probably not. Lukaku I believe, is a good team player, and I do believe that him coming off the bench, he will accept that role, but you don't want to put Lukaku on the bench. This is one of those good problems to have that people like to say. A good problem to have. But still not sold on Chelsea. Depth, good, not sold. Not on the bandwagon. They're just going to have to embarrass me. That's it. They're just going to have to embarrass me. Liverpool does what Liverpool does. They play in Champions League today. Beat Arsenal 4-0. And that was a good I'm trying to say that's a good loss if there is such a thing. And it wasn't a good loss. Liverpool, Arsenal are losing to teams they're supposed to lose to. And that's what I respect about it, you know? You're supposed to maybe not lose, like Manchester United, you're not supposed to lose 5-0 to Liverpool. In Arsenal's case, they're not supposed to lose 4-0 to Liverpool. But you sort of expect to lose to Liverpool. Played a solid, decent first half. Second half, you sort of saw. This is what top sides do, Arsenal. Now, Arsenal can say, we've shown improvement. But now, here's the next step. The most difficult step. To become elite champions. Everton improves. But what's the next step? Now, Arsenal, it will take some time. Because now Arsenal, maybe not next year, but definitely the year after next, it's gonna be more of how we talk about Manchester United now. You're supposed to be competing with Liverpool's Manchester City Spurs. Spurs, I guess. Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea. It's not cute anymore to lose to them. It's not cute anymore to win a 1-0 game against them at Arsenal, and it's the Carabao Cup third round. This year, they'll be fine if they lose to the big three every single game. Next year, I believe they're supposed to show some improvement, but they'll be fine if they lose. 2023, 2024, 2025 season? Would that be the season? No, it'd be next year. It'd be 2022, 2023. 2023, 2024 season is when I'm going to start to expect a little more from Arsenal. Not losing 4-0 to Liverpool. Liverpool's going to be a different side by then. Drinking my tea. It's going to be interesting. 2024, 2025. 2023, 2024 season. Very interesting. Spurs look good. Manchester United, as I said, all they got sacked, so they got a new manager. And I wouldn't be surprised, again, if I was the owner or man in charge of Manchester United. This is what I'm doing. I'm telling Michael Carrick, you still have a chance to get this job. You can be the head manager. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we finished second, third, made a Europa League final, and we're this close to challenging Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So, hiring a guy who knows the club inside and out may not be a bad thing for Manchester United, hiring Michael Carrick. The only thing is, he doesn't have the room for error, if that makes sense. He can't lose to Chelsea 3-0 or 3-1. He can't lose to Manchester City 4-0 or Liverpool 5-0. He doesn't have that leeway. He doesn't have the leeway to be down 2-0, 3-0. They're down 2-0 against PSG and then come back. Oh, phenomenal coming. He doesn't have that. He has to, every single game they play from here on out, he can lose, but every single game from here on out, Manchester United look like they have a system in place, and they need to look like they're good enough to compete. They've shown progress. He doesn't have the leash. The leash is a little bit smaller. He can't lose to Chelsea 3-0, as I said. If he does well and shows that Manchester United are legit, they figured it out at the back, they figured it out, they have a system that can counter the rock and roll football of Liverpool and the symphony passing of Manchester City and the smooth R&B by Chelsea. If they can come with a little indie, maybe, rock and roll. Rock and roll's already taken. Maybe a smooth jazz. They need a formula or something to challenge. It needs to be obvious, not opaque. The system. It's going to be a lot more difficult for Michael Carrick to become the manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was. Good results here and there isn't going to cut it. A definite style of play and progression is the key for Michael Carrick. Possible, yes. Difficult, yes. But would you want it any other way? Manchester City beat Everton. Everton need to get healthy, and they are the only thing in my life that brings me sadness. The only thing in my life that brings me sadness is Everton Football Club. The only thing. Life is good. Life is good. I cannot complain. Unless Everton play. Until Everton play. Good week. Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I went too far. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All good days. 6 out of 7s. But I always somehow learn to get a B a bet on Saturdays, sometimes Sundays and sometimes Mondays. Somehow. How? Because Everton play. And they somehow do the same thing every single year. They did it last year. They did it the year before last. They do the same thing. They start out well, and then they lose to Watford, and it just goes downhill. Now, injuries do play a factor, but goodness gracious, man. I mean, I don't know why I'm complaining. It happens every year. It's expected. When I saw it happen this year, they start out well. I said, yeah, it's good, but it's September. Just like when the Chiefs were down and out in September. It's a 17-week season. Pump your brakes. The smoke has cleared and the cream are rising to the top, or the cream is rising to the top. The Chiefs' defense looks better. And that's all you need when you have Patrick Mahomes. Believe it or not, I wasn't going to say this because, my foresight, because I didn't want to surprise anyone. It's not like I just came up with it now, but the offense may sort of be the problem for the Chiefs. I do think I didn't call it. It's already. I just saw it this week. Even though they dropped, I believe, 40 against the Raiders, and they played decently well against the Ravens. I just think teams have somewhat figured out their offense. And then the defense wasn't helping. If that makes sense. And I think the offense is slowly adjusting and the defense is getting back to it. Who says preseason doesn't matter? Who says that? Me, I say that. But it's showing that it does sort of matter. I do believe a good preseason helps. 100%. The Titans finally look like they missed Derrick Henry. The Colts look like the team that we expected them to be. Then there's the usual surprise team, the Patriots. This happens every season, just like Everton doing their thing, starting out well, and then losing to Watford and Aston Villa and then Manchester City and then... But anyways, this happens every season. Am I surprised per se? Yes, because they're the surprise team, the Patriots. You don't expect them to be this good. Looking at the Patriots, maybe I expect them to be 5 games this week. I expect the Patriots to be around the Eagles, where the Eagles are right now. Good, very good. Have they had somewhat an easier schedule? No, it's NFL. No one's schedule's really that much easier than someone else's schedule. We are currently 91-72. It was sort of another down week. I forgot to predict the Buccaneers game, so whenever that happens, there's a tie in there, but I predicted it wrong, so it counts as an L, in my opinion. We're 91-72. We still are plus 19. Week 12 pending. Predictions. Week 12, Thanksgiving week, and next week as well, which is the start of December, if I'm not mistaken. Predictions. Most likely on American football and other sports I don't know a lot about, like ping pong. Predictions. Bears versus Lions. I really want the Lions to win. I just do. But the Bears and the Washington football team would be a phenomenal game, if I do say so myself. Phenomenal. Cowboys, Raiders. Raiders in Dallas, Cowboys. Bills, Saints. One could say this is the game of roller coasters. This is the theme park game. The theme park game of the season. They need Wild Adventures, Universal, Disney World, Busch Gardens to sponsor this game because this is the roller coaster game. Two teams on ups and downs. The roller coaster Bills versus the roller coaster Saints. I'm going with the Saints to cap off tomorrow, Thursday night football. Bengals versus Steelers in Cincinnati. I'm going with the Bengals. This is my regret pick of the week. I may be because they're home and because they're another roller coaster team as well, the Bengals. They're just a kiddie roller coaster. Not as many up and downs. It goes fast in a straight line. But there's a little bit of roller coaster. They got a little bit of roller coaster in them. They're a theme park team. New nickname alert. Theme park teams. This is gold. I think that's going to be the name of the podcast. Theme park team. Or the one that I said in the intro. As I said. You'll know tomorrow, or I'll know. Yeah, you'll know when you see it. Peng Sports Podcast, episode 39, the roller coaster team. Peng Sports Podcast, episode 39, as I said. They both have a good ring to it. Dolphins, Panthers. This is Dolphins. Like the Colts, I think they're starting to play how we expected them to play. I don't know why it sort of has taken them a little while, but they're here. Is it too late? Maybe. When you have the Patriots playing the way the Patriots playing and the Bills, I think the Bills get back on track. Roller coaster team back on track. Come on, man, you can't make this up. But they have a chance. They have a chance. They can win out. The only thing, as I said, is it too late for them? What do? Do you win out and still don't make the playoffs and then get the 15 pick in the draft? Or do you tank a little bit? It's for them to figure out. I think Brian Flores is sort of not playing for his job. I think he has one more year at least. But it's going to be interesting, if I do say so myself. Eagles versus Giants. Eagles are the new Packers for me. They're my new Packers pick. I'm picking them every week. Eagles win. Titans versus Patriots. I said the Bengals Steelers was my regret pick of the week. But this, I don't think I'm going to regret this one. Titans sort of had the Patriots number, if I'm not mistaken. In recent years under Mike Vrabel, if that's their coach. I don't pay attention to coaches in the same division as me, in the same division as the Jaguars. Not because I'm a Jaguars fan. I'm not. I'm unbiased here. But I'm just saying. Titans beat the Patriots. Speaking of the Jaguars, Falcons play the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Jaguars win at home while I'm at home. Buccaneers versus Colts. I think this is, in most people's opinion, the game of the week. Colts. Jets, Titans. Jets do not play the Titans. Jets play the Texans. This will be a good game. Texans get their third win of the season, back-to-back wins. And is everyone playing this weekend? Goodness gracious, there's a lot of picks. Chargers versus Broncos. Vikings versus 49ers. The Vikings win last week wasn't a surprise to me. It isn't. The Vikings are a good team. But there's just classes, there's levels to this. Are you a Super Bowl contender or are you a make or break team? Make or break teams, if you do not know, are teams that the good teams beat. They're going to make or break your season. If you beat these teams, you're going to make it. You're going to make the playoffs. But if you lose these teams, it's going to break your season. And it's a sort of a litmus test teams, you could say. How good are you really? The Packers are good because they built up the credit. Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The Vikings haven't built up the credit. They're a good team. Well-run organization. Maybe the most underrated organization in the league. So last week's victory against the Packers wasn't a surprise, but it was a surprise, but they're a good team. Also, speaking of the Vikings so much, I picked the Vikings. The Vikings win, but I just feel like Santa Clara is a great place to play if you're a visiting team. You know, it's not a vacation spot like Los Angeles and Jacksonville and Miami and Tampa. It's not one of those. Or Vegas. But it is a nice place to play. So it's great because you're still going to be focused. You're not going there to somewhat take a load off, relax. You're going there, focus, and with good weather. I just think if I was a quarterback and I say, we're playing the 49ers week 13 or week 12, and I play in Minnesota or I play in Chicago or I play in Green Bay or I play in Buffalo, I'm a little excited. I'm saying, this is going to be a good one. The weather's going to be good. It's not going to be too hot, too cold. We won't really be going out. It's not really a vacation spot. I think the Vikings win and Santa Clara is not the best place doesn't have the best home field advantage. Maybe inside the stadium, but with the fans and stuff, if you consider the fans, I guess they get loud and stuff. They get loud. But like playing, you don't really hear the fans anyways. Playing and I just like Santa Clara if I'm an away quarterback. Rams versus Packers. Rams. Believe it or not, the whole COVID thing messed up the Packers. I do believe it. I think it's an understatement. COVID-19 isn't one of those kind of topics. I'm about to take a sip of tea. Mute it for the next 5 seconds if you don't like the sound of it. It's not, as I said, COVID-19 isn't some easy-going topic. It's not a topic like that. It's not, do I like apples or do I like oranges? And then you can move past it, easy money. COVID-19 is a really highly debated topic, and it's probably not as easily accepted by Aaron Rodgers. People in the locker room may not accept it as much as we are giving it credit for. Is that my headcanon? I could be way off. The Packers organization and everyone could be fine with it. But I just know how COVID is divided. And I know it's different when Ben Roethlisberger gets COVID and when Aaron Rodgers gets COVID. It's just, and you know what I'm talking about. To divulge any deeper into it would, for you to understand, it's not something I'm going to do. Not because I'm lazy, just I will say it again. COVID-19 is a highly contested, debated topic. It's controversial. I'm going to say it again because I need for you guys to understand this point. It's not like comparing apples to oranges. You can't, it's not something that you can walk by and say, oh man. You know, things that you argue about, like a guy, he thinks the Lakers are going to win the championship. It's not something I can walk past him on campus and be like, yo, Lakers winning championship in 6, like you said? And he'll chuckle, I'll chuckle, cool. You can't walk past Aaron Rodgers, or Aaron Rodgers can't walk past T-Man and be like, yo, COVID, bro. The guy would be like, yo, what are you talking about? I have a family, bills. You know? It's different. It's something that you don't bring up. It's awkward when you bring it back up. There's a divide in the locker room, potentially. This is all headcanon. Maybe I should do a headcanon alert. But it's not as easy as we think it is. I'm telling you. And I think it may have an effect on the Packers. Now, will they be able to come back from it? Maybe. But last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers, I don't think is vaccinated. Yes, I didn't talk about this when this first happened because everyone had an opinion on it. And everything that was said on both sides was said. We got Aaron Rodgers' side of the story. But I'm telling you, right now I am talking about it. And this I talked about how the Vikings are make or break teams. And I said the Packers may have got credit like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I may be retracting that statement within the next 5 minutes. Maybe not. Maybe that game was a make or break game and the Packers broke. The Packers may be broke. That broke their season. How things work out. Vikings make or break team and the Packers just broke their season. Ooh. Trust me, I didn't plan this. I'm ranting right now. We're doing predictions right now. I didn't plan this. I think the Packers broke their season. They lost to the make or break team. The Rams are not a make or break team. They're one of those teams that made it. They're there. They're at the top. And it may get ugly. Again, the Packers, maybe again because I predicted the Packers to win the AFC North. They may win the AFC North. I think they will. I think it's almost, the Vikings can maybe catch them, but it's almost impossible for the Packers to lose the AFC North, I believe. If they do, yes, the Aaron Rodgers' COVID situation is a clear marker of the locker room being divided. But again, the Packers can prove me wrong and win this week, but I don't think so. I don't know who they play the week after next. Interesting. This is what the NFL is about. Storylines. This is entertainment, people. Don't take it more or less than that. Talk about COVID and the entertainment factor of it. Because it's entertainment. Never forget that. Never forget it. Ravens versus the Browns. Did I predict the Colts versus Buccaneers? I don't even have it predicted on the script. I'm going with the Colts. If you weren't clear on that. But Browns versus Ravens. This is the game I'm most excited about. I think this is a Sunday night game. Good game. Sunday night games have been phenomenal this year. NFL has been phenomenal this year. I truly believe that. Right now I'm deciding which one should I pick. The water or the tea. The tea is sort of cold. Let me finish up the tea. Oh God, that doesn't sound good on the mic. Seahawks versus Washington. Washington football team win. Seahawks, this is one of those years. They'll be back. But this is one of those years. Cardinals started out great in one of the most difficult divisions. Russell Wilson got injured. Just one of those years. Take a step back, regroup, draft some good players, and you'll be back. And you'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. Is Chris Carson even playing? Did he get injured? Or does he even play for them anymore? Again, it's just one of those years. Washington football team win. Congratulations to the Washington Spirit. That is what a final looks like. That is a final. That is a final. Not 1-0, one little mistake at the back, man beats the keeper, goal. Oh man, goodness gracious. I try to put people onto football. And that Champions League final, I can say it now, was not up to par. It was not a good final. It was a tactically brilliant final for people like, I guess me. I enjoyed it because it was. But when you try to put people on, you're trying to put people on. I can show someone the Manchester City-Chelsea final and be like, so soccer, football, it's pretty dope, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was 1-0. It was sort of a, you don't understand the game, but it was good. Trust me, take my word for it. No. When I want to put someone onto football, I show them the Liverpool Arsenal. You know what game I'm talking about. When Liverpool decided to wear orange and Arsenal wore red. That didn't make sense. They probably scored so many goals because they couldn't tell the team apart. Horrible away decision by Liverpool. That's why they're sponsored by Nike now. But yes, what a final. Spirit, win, come back. Chicago they were supposed to have a goal, but the goal, our announcer said it, probably doesn't happen if Mallory Pugh doesn't get hurt. The Red Star have the momentum going into the second half. Rarely a team with momentum going into the second half lose a game like that. But the Spirit, I think, Manchester United, the comeback kings of the EPL. The Spirit this year are the comeback queens. Yeah, I came up with that on the spot too. I freestyled the podcast. Freestyle for 55 minutes. But they came back against the rain. Against the courage. They didn't come back, but you could see that game. They sort of came back. They were down. Their backs were against the wall against the courage. The courage were about to put them away. Came back. Maybe that's how they like it. Maybe that's how the Spirit like it. And that's good. That's good when in the playoffs. That's not good in the regular season. If that's happening all the time in the regular season, if a team's always coming back like Florida State did. Remember Jameis Winston, first year of the college football playoff, if I'm not mistaken? And they were constantly coming back. And then they got blown out against Oregon. Even though Oregon was home, pretty much in California. Anywho. Maybe it's just one of those things, man. Coming back is good in certain spurts. But when you're trying to build something, I don't think it's good. Spirit, like Ole, unlike the Packers, have had that credit. So they know each other. They had experience, chemistry, and talent. The triad of success never fails. It always works, people. Remember, triad of success. Chemistry, experience, talent. You can get away with 2. You can make the playoffs with 2, but you need 3 to win championships. You can get away with 2 of them. You can have chemistry and talent, but you need experience to win it. You can have experience and chemistry, but you need talent to win it. You can have talent and experience, but if you don't have that chemistry, it's not going to happen. Spirit had all 3. Red Star had all 3. That's what makes a great final. See, the thing about Chelsea last year is they had the triad of success. There's no issues with Chelsea winning the championship last year. Perfectly fine with that champion. And I'm telling you right now, get into the stock now. Get into the stock now. It's not like Bitcoin, where the stock is going to rise and fall. And yes, I know Bitcoin is not a stock, but get into NWSL now. Get into it now. Trust me. Trust me. The pay grade, it was unacceptable. 52 G's for the highest paid player in the NWSL? Oh my goodness. I think they get a little bit of sponsorship. I think they're good. But 52 G's? Come on, man. 52,000 ain't nothing. See, that's something that you gotta. If you're a women's soccer player, what are you doing? Not as in that space. You're a senior in college. You have a chance to go to the NWSL. You're a psychology major. What? I'm gonna make more money being a psychologist. Yeah, money isn't everything, but some people need the money. I'm gonna make more money being a psychologist. I'll make more money being a police officer, a criminal, follow my path of criminal justice, than playing in NWSL where I get injured. It's just one of those things. 52,000. That's why I say get into it now, because they were getting paid 52,000. Just imagine if they get paid 100,000. You don't think they're gonna be balling? They're balling. You think they're balling now? Just wait. Just wait. Money get paid real though. Expansion teams will help. These expansion teams: San Diego, Los Angeles. I think they're not called Angel FC, but they're in Los Angeles and San Diego. I don't know San Diego's name, but Angel FC. I read that the team will get 1% of ticket revenue, which is a start, I guess. But come on now. Let's keep it 100. And as I say, my least favorite saying of all, I'm going to just tell it how it is. Usually people don't have any social awareness when they say stuff like that. But I'm going to tell it how it is. Okay, NWSL doesn't get a boatload of traffic. Yeah, for the championship game, good. But they don't get a boatload of traffic coming to their games. It's not sold out. 1% isn't the same as 1% of the Lakers game. Isn't the same as 1% of a Jaguars game. It's different 1%. And I need to do more research onto this. But from what I read, they're getting 1% of the ticket sales. Come on. It's a start. But remember, Lukaku was a flex purchase. That's not a flex. I'm going to be critical here. It's a start. But getting 1% of a penny ain't nothing. Getting $20 extra is cool. I can buy a pizza. Again, have to do more research on it. But 5%? And it's spread across the whole team? It's a start. And that's, I think, what they're trying to make it as. A start. I think that's what they're trying to make it. I just hope it's not one of those, look at us. Yeah, we give 1% to our players off of something that probably doesn't make us a boatload of money. Maybe your highest revenue share. I'm getting to territory that I'm not familiar with. Maybe you make the most money off of attendance. I just believe that I think it's a start. I'm going to hold back. I'm going to stay back and hold my horses. I think it's a start. I think that's what they're doing. It's a start. Need to do more research on it, but I think they're starting it up. I take it back what I said. Remember, as I said, whenever someone says, I just tell it how it is. Don't trust those people. Don't trust those people. It's one of the worst things ever. Like tomato. No one says tomato. No one says tomato. Potato. No one says potato. No one says tomato. No one says tomato. People say tomato. Tomato. I've yet to meet a person in the United States that says tomato. I've heard an English person say tomato. From England. That's what I meant. It's a start. Episode 39. Peng Sports Podcast. It's a start. That's the name. Will is currently in Texas celebrating Thanksgiving. Christian today, I believe, is going to the Philippines. And while you are listening to this, I will be in Jacksonville. Sean is in Arizona. I'm just giving everyone's locations. Nate is in Jacksonville, though. Tim's in Jacksonville. Zach's in Jacksonville. Jordan's in Jacksonville. So I still have some people I can hang out with in Jacksonville if I want to. But I'm probably just going to chill with the family. Oh, God. That was a horrible story. Not that I don't like my family, just sort of corny. But this is the corny podcast. The Peng's Corny Sports Podcast. The PCSP. It sounds official. How you guys doing? I just literally just took a break. Finished out the podcast. A lot of people question why I'm not in Jacksonville already. And I was like, yo, I gotta do the podcast. Do people not care about the podcast? The Peng Sports Podcast that I write the night before on a Tuesday? Maybe Kamal, they will care if you cared. But I'm here to have a good time. I do it for the people, though. I do it for the people. But I'm here to have a good time. I'm not here to get a bunch of views. I'm here to do my thing. And why would I go to Jacksonville when I can chill in Tallahassee? Tallahassee chill is a different kind of chill. Learn the art of chill. I'm going to write a book on it one day, don't worry. But it's more fun to figure it out. Learn the art of chilling. Love to chill. It's my favorite thing. But I do the Peng Sports Podcast for the people. Remember, nice guys finish first. Will's Soundcloud is in the description. It is the Peng Sports Podcast, episode 39. And I'm recording this on Wednesday. And it will be released on Thursday. And I swear, if they play this at Thanksgiving dinner as we're congregating and talking and fellowshipping, I'm going to cry of embarrassment. I swear, man. Please. Oh my God. Yeah, I got one of those kind of families. Just embarrassing. Every single one of them are embarrassing. They embarrass me all the time. Not a shout out to embarrassing families. If you know, you know. Goodness. You would think, oh, he's a teenager. No, I'm 22. I'm 21. 21. It's still embarrassing, bro. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Remember, nice guys finish first. And mean girls don't last. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hiatus coming soon. This is the Peng Sports Podcast. Podcast.
C'est si bon quand on se pose. Plus de questions et qu'on ose ouvrir enfin les bras.